This video is mainly going to be focused on the Iron Claw, because I've already reviewed the Harpoon and the M65. I'll leave the links to those reviews in the description. They're not much I recommend, mainly because of the shell designs. The materials, quality and performance is mostly good, but the weight is a bit much for me too, and the cables aren't great either. Corsair is using these smooth braids, which are nice but they're not flexible enough, so this kind of thing happens in a bungee. The Iron Claw appears even stiffer in the pushback test. Also a quick mention, I've already reviewed the Corsair MM300 mousepad, I'll link that too. I loved it, but it wasn't big enough. The MM350 fixes that, as it's about 93 by 40 centimeters. Pretty much perfect size for my desk. And not only is it a great pad for playing, it looks really good with white and black setups. The mice don't just disappear into the pad. I still prefer the Cooler Master MP510 for aiming, but only just. This mousepad works better for reviews and streaming because it's not so dark, so I recommend the pad, but I don't recommend the M65 Elite or Harpoon Wireless. Looking at the latency testing, it appears the Harpoon has a bit of a delay, which would suggest that Corsair Wireless isn't ready yet. The testing isn't exact, but you see it's fairly consistent, not just in the human benchmark, but also hitting the buttons together. The M65 and Iron Claw are about the same though. Looking at the gameplay for the Harpoon, the sensor performed well, but I thought I could feel the delay on it just looking around too. If you want a small high-performance wireless mouse, I'd say check out the Logitech G305. Feels like a wired mouse, and has a really long battery life, also a much better shape, and is lighter with the right battery in it. So the Harpoon is about 100 grams. And here's what the cable looks like. Not the best implementation, but I get why they did it. It works, that's the main thing, so you can use this while it charges. So in short, the Harpoon Wireless doesn't seem to have the performance, and there's no reason I can see to buy it instead of the G305. But if you did like the Harpoon, and you want a wireless version, you can give it a try. The good news is, the M65 Elite has taken a few steps in the right direction. The bare weight is about 96 grams, adjustable up to 116. As always, personal preference, but I think it's wise to start as low as possible. And compared to the Pro, it's just a lot better. The materials, the feel, the bigger side buttons, crisp clicks, good wheel, even the lights are much better. Really like the improvements they've made. It has a top optical sensor as always, as you see in game. It's solid. If I had to use a Corsair mouse, this would most likely be it for now, although I do prefer the size of the Harpoon. It's just the shape that I don't like. But if you love the M65 before and you need a new mouse, I would recommend the Elite. So credit to the team for some really good improvements, but that shape will never win me over. Okay, now the feature. The Iron Claw's weight is about 110 grams, but it's a large mouse so that's kind of expected. As always, the most interesting part is the shell. When I first got this, I thought, wow, this might be the most comfortable palm grip mouse ever. Just resting my hand feels great. The right side is really well shaped, good curves and grippy rubber texture. The comfort curves in the buttons are pretty nice, also rubberized. But considering it's a big mouse made for large hands, I'm worried these buttons are a bit thin. They only just fit my fingers. The other side has the same grip, but this shape just feels unnecessarily large. My thumb is generally right underneath the buttons, and I don't think you could grip it properly otherwise. I mean, it's okay, feels good at first, but after a few hours gaming, it just starts to bother me. I can't get a proper grip on the mouse, and I don't think it's going to be good for competitive play. This mouse seems more aimed at casual, relaxed gaming where you just want to rest. It's a large mouse, but it seems to be made for 18 by 9 cm hands like mine. The width at the fingers is about 6 cm, length is about 13 cm. So I don't think they had the competitive market in mind, just comfort. Also, from the side, this hump may have something to do with the comfort of lazy grip, but discomfort for competitive play. It's just over 4 cm in height. Maybe it's a slope, I'm not sure what's bothering me. It just doesn't feel right when I'm actually trying in game. No concerns with the sensor, I'll leave the testing link in the description if you want to see how I do it, but the liftoff distance is about 2 DVDs. Same for the Harpoon, and about 1 DVD for the M65 Elite. For quality, here's a quick listen to the buttons and rattle of each. so I'm mostly happy with them. The Iron Claw could use some more tension on the wheel. Harpoon is fine, but the wheel needs a little less tension. And my favourite is the M65 Elite. It just seems the best. And they all have minor rattles, but nothing too bad. Here they are next to the Death Adder so you can get an idea of size. And no concerns with the mouse feet on each, they're all good. I've been through Corsair software enough in the past, it's just getting bigger and bigger and more complicated. I personally don't need a lot of this, but here's a quick look anyway. The DPI in the M65 Elite and the Iron Claw goes up to 18,000, and you can pretty much use whatever steps you want, which is cool, but again, I just don't need that. I change sensitivity in game. And you also have surface calibration, but not on the Harpoon, which has the weaker sensor. So to conclude, they're all good mice, and they're even better in quality in some ways than the mice I rank highly. But when it comes to aiming in a game like Quake, and what I enjoy using, shape, weight, and cable are the most important factors, especially now with optical sensors becoming so good. Personally, I'm not going to recommend any of these, but if they sound like they suit you or you want to give them a try, then yeah, they're good, and I'm sure some people will love them. As always, you have to find what's right for you. Unfortunately, Corsair don't make mice for me. That said, I do really like the MN350 mousepad, so I'll give that the recommendation. This video was not sponsored, but thank you to Corsair for sending these out for review, and if you want to help support the channel, I'll leave the usual links in the description. As always, subscribe, like and share this video, and I'll catch you in the next.